Good morning, everyone. Today, I wanted to speak to you about a realization that I had on my morning walk. And some of you may not know, but I do morning walks. I've been doing this for the last few months and really taking time to make them my mindful movement. Besides just doing movement, I really want to be mindful, and starting my day this way has been life-shifting. It's been profound. And so today it was raining, and so then it had a break, and I thought, okay, I'll go for a walk. But I prepared. I took my umbrella. As I'm walking, it starts to rain, which the rain is what it is. There's no negative or positive. It's just what it is. So I open my umbrella and I'm fine. But then I started thinking to myself, man, I am really thankful for umbrellas. And I'm like, where? And then I started thinking about when was the umbrella invented? And what did they do before they had umbrellas? And then I started thinking about what they must have done before they had umbrellas. I have no idea. The tarps over their head, but then it just kept going and going. And I finally came back to the present moment as I went down this rabbit hole, just like thinking, wow, what a wonderful, simple thing to be thankful for. And then I came back home and I created my smoothie. And this really got to me is using ordinary events to create gratitude, which in and of itself will foster that happiness that so many people are looking for, right? We're thinking there's some outward event or things need to align. The stars need to be just right in order for me to be happy, when actually happiness is in every moment. It's in this moment if you allow it, right? When we have resistance to what's occurring, and I'm not saying you accept everything if you're about to get beat up or run over or anything like that. This is just acceptance of the facts that are presented for you in certain life circumstances in this moment. And there's a few things I could talk about. My mind has gone from my smoothie that I made this morning and how my mind just went crazy with this. I'll get to that in a second. To when I was deployed and I had 3-minute showers, but I was always so thankful for those showers. To the point that I went on a 2-week missionary trip several years ago, about 9 years ago, and we were in rural Africa, and I remember flying home. We were so stinky, and I really didn't fully appreciate the stinkiness until people were avoiding sitting next to us. And then I took off my shoes. Wow. Okay, so and it's not that we didn't bathe there, but we did. But there's only a certain amount of hygiene that can be appreciated in rural Africa. Anyway, without electricity or running water. So, but when we got, when we started being pulled back into modern life and we went into the hotel, I mean, I truly, truly appreciated a shower. Or when I finally got home from being deployed to the Middle East and I was in Germany waiting for my flight back home, and I was able to take more than a 3-minute shower. Anyway, so my mind has been going in a million directions on how many little things I can be grateful for, but even just the experience of the shower, it can go even deeper. So I'm going to talk to you about my anatomy of the smoothie and how even just this simple act or any simple act you choose can foster gratitude, which will bring you to the present moment, which will allow you to touch that happiness that you so seek in everyday life. And this is like another Asian pear moment. I don't know if you guys are aware of my Asian pear moment, but I think I figured out how to find Asian pear moments every day. So, I mean, every moment's an Asian pear moment, but anyway. So, okay. It's funny. I'm giggling about talking about a smoothie and how it's going to foster gratitude. I can't even tell you. It's definitely an Asian pear moment, guys. So bear with me. So, again, this gets back to using ordinary events to foster gratitude, which allows you to be thankful for the moment, and then this cultivates that happiness piece that we're always so seeking. So many people are unhappy, but really, happiness is right there. It's right there in front of you, and it's just a choice of shifting in your perspective. So how can a smoothie do this? Well, first of all, let's dissect the smoothie. What's in this purple mud? Well, there's blueberries, there's pineapple, and cherries. These are all frozen. There's soy milk, there's broccoli slaw, cabbage, and greens. Don't judge me. These are the 7 components Then I add in a scoop of Garden of Life raw meal replacement chocolate flavor. Okay. Then I pour that's all in the Vitamix. I blend it up. Sometimes it goes well, sometimes it explodes. That's another point of discussion. And then I pour it into 3 mason jars, 2 full and 1 half. This is a half one. Then I place a straw in it, silicone straw, and I drink it. I take this for granted every morning until this morning. I started thinking to myself, wow, these blueberries are so tasty. Imagine what had to come, how these blueberries show up in this smoothie at this moment. Then I just started thinking, okay, the blueberry came from the grocery store. Sorry, my nose is running. There's freezer, there's packaging, but the blueberry and its journey from Maine, because they buy the Wyman's frozen wild blueberries. Then I started thinking about Wyman's. I'm familiar with their story because I'm trying to get them on the podcast. And this is a family-run business for like 100 some odd years. Okay, that even goes beyond the fact that they're in Maine and they built this business and then the transportation. This is just the blueberry. Then we go into the greens, the pineapple, the cherries, all of that goes into it, the soy milk, the packaging, the transfer, the build, the people who plant it, that harvest it, that cultivate the seeds. It's mind-blowing. Anyway, then I started thinking, well, then there's the Vitamix. There's the Vitamix that I have love. I put it all together, and then I blend it. And then there's the mason jar, like where the glass came from, how I ordered it, how I got it, where the straw came from. Anyway, I'm thinking to myself, I thought at first that I would do this wild hair idea that I would track down all the people in the journey of this in this smoothie, but I was like, that's a lifetime. And I would probably go back to the beginning of time because literally I would get to there. I would get back to the point that like, well, I would have to travel back in time to get to say thank you. And instead I just said, I'm just going to be thankful in this moment. And then I was so grateful. But then I also said in the Vitamix, it's got to be plugged in to the wall. So now there's electricity, the invention of electricity. The people who built this house 50 years ago, we're able to move here. We're able to pay our bill. We have solar that helps with electricity. But I'm just like, oh, the city of Mission Viejo that provides electricity to its citizens. Anyway, guys, so as you start having these mind trips and just thinking, wow, in my ordinary day-to-day existence, there's so many minutia things that I can be thankful for. Why would I ever feel ungrateful, right? The only time that I can see, now that I see when I feel these negative emotions start, go for whatever reason, it doesn't matter, whatever this reason, if I start feeling some underlying river of uncontent or negative, I'm so hyper aware at this point because I want to cultivate such a joy of gratitude and positive emotion in every single moment of my life that I'm so aware of it now that I just, when I see this bubbling up of negative emotion for whatever reason, I was like, I see you. I appreciate you trying to be here, but I don't need you anymore. And it goes away. And I'm just content. I'm content with whatever happens. I'm flowing with life, and gosh, I hope you can too. It's such an Asian pear life. My Asian pear life. Oh my goodness. So I just really want to highlight how these daily little practices can help you foster the gratitude that will help you find the happiness. And what does that do to you? Well, there's several things, right? It shifts focus to the positive, right? So it keeps you from the negative. It's an antidote to the negative. It increases your life satisfaction. You're not always looking at, the Instagram reel, the Facebook highlights of people's lives and wishing, man, I wish I had that. But you are so satisfied with what you have. And you feel so abundant. So guess what? More abundance will flow to you. And I know this sounds all hokey pokey, but it's so very true because you will feed what you're putting out into the world. And when you are thankful and feeling abundant, everything just feels abundant. So it's all abundance. I don't know how to describe this. So I'm not high on anything, I promise. But what else does this do? I think it enhances resilience, right? So It really strengthens your emotional resilience, right? Enabling you to navigate difficult times. So if you fostered this skill, and it's not even a doing, it's a sense of being. When you're regularly acknowledging what you're thankful for, when you have a psychological buffer, right, against stress and adversity and depression or life circumstances that are less than ideal, this builds your resilience. It's building your resilience reservoir. And if I could just give this to you, just it's a gift. I would give it to everybody. I feel like we live a very different world, but this can also improve your relationships, right? I think back to as a wife and a mom, I was trying to fill a role and identify this role, and I'm thinking to myself, "Oh, Lori, I guess I could be." Then I started judging myself. I was like, "Nah, let's back up a train. I had to be that in order to be here now," and I'm thankful for that, and I'm so thankful for the beings in my life, my human beings, not even mine, the beings that I have these relationships with. They've allowed me to grow and deal with me. So I'm so thankful. But it also reduces your comparison to others, right? It's so easy for us to have what they call imposter syndrome or never feeling good enough. Guess what? This body of ours, our minds, there's always going to be someone who, in your opinions, which again don't really matter anymore once you realize life is just what it is, but there's always going to be someone in who you're comparing. If you're always comparing yourself, there's always going to be someone better, faster, stronger, smarter, younger, prettier, more handsome, stronger. I don't know. But how is that to live life? Why do we want to live life like this? It's insanity. So, but if you're so thankful for this moment and just being, you realize that in the vastness of this universe, human beings are so insignificant. Like, and I'm not saying obliteration of like we're here for a purpose. Don't get me wrong, but our inner purpose should be first to realize just how amazing and sacred just being present on this earth is. But then you look at the vastness of this universe. Our problems are minutia. Yeah, I think people will say it's those first world problems. But I would say everything that we get so upset about and so uptight about. Someone's taking too long in front of you at Starbucks. Someone just cut you off. You're having to wait for someone at the grocery store. Try this. Try some different ways of like maybe allowing someone in front of you at the grocery store, paying for the person behind you at Starbucks, and don't expect anything from it. Don't expect a thank you. Don't expect a nod and feel shysted when you don't get it. But just some experimentation of what's going on. Are you always expecting from doing? I went down another rabbit hole. Again, of course, promotes mindfulness because you're being present moment. Yeah, I think you can only find happiness in your present moment. And it encourages positive emotions, right? Yeah. And then when you start sharing that being, that happiness, that joy, that gratitude for every moment, it is contagious. Now imagine if every person did this even just for 5 minutes of their day, to day life, just 5 minutes of doing this little exercise of being grateful for whatever this routine is that you're doing. It could be folding laundry. Start thinking about it. The clothes that come, the dryer that's in your house or not. Maybe it's the dishwasher, or maybe it's the dish soap, or maybe it's walking your dog in the sidewalks and the dog leash and the little compostable doggy bags to pick up poo. Seriously, it goes on and on. The list goes on and on. But you can literally find an aging pear moment anytime you want one. You just gotta take your moment and say, wow, this is joyful. This is amazing. Okay. Anyway, that has been it. But to get back to my well-being challenge, it's going well. I've hit 20,000 steps the last 2 days. Last night I was up walking back and forth. Yeah, because I had some other things I had to do, and I kind of neglected my step count. But I did it. And I did my journaling and my little drawing, and it's really made me think about being present, about getting up and moving, right, more through the day, maybe making my morning walk just a little bit longer. Yeah, so that is going well, and I think with the journaling piece, what's been really fascinating is my reflections on just this whole experience. And so I'll be so curious to see how I am in 30 days, but that's okay. It's just one moment at a time. Anyway, I hope you found this helpful, because you guys, I just want you to be happy. And so, as always, I want to say thank you for being here and allowing me to have time in your day. And yeah, I'm always sending you, whenever you're watching this, if it's a replay or live, love, joy, peace, happiness, and healing to whatever is ailing you or where you're feeling struggle in your life. And so, anyway, love you guys. Have a great rest of your day. And don't forget, if you want the vegan bundle, I will put a link here in the show notes. It's got a ton of stuff, $49. Brittany Drury and I put together this cool ebook with plant-based lab stuff. And then there's 150 other people donated for it. It's like $8,000 worth of stuff. That alone is something fun to be grateful for, to be a part of that. Then I started thinking about Brittany and how wonderful and grateful I am for her. Anyway, moving on. So I'll put a link there if you're interested. So thanks so much, everyone. Appreciate you all, as always. Have a blessed day.